Angela. How are you? Good for you
Good.
to join us.
Thanks. Good to see you, Marjolaine.
Yeah. So, oh, you have a beautiful piece behind you. That's fantastic.
Yeah,
How are
this
you
was.
today? Are you busy organizing the show and doing all the stuff that you do?
I sort of just did a little calm down, I think. I slept
Okay.
in this morning for the first time. I've been getting up at 5 o'clock in the morning for the last 2 weeks. So this morning it was my first day I slept in, which was really, really nice.
It's
But
quite a bit of work. Yeah. The organizing 100 artists, getting them online, doing the social media, putting the ideas out there. You do a fantastic job. It's remarkable. And so as a team, we really work hard, right, to support
yeah.
artists, get them out there.
Yeah, it's a whole team. The board's amazing. The Artist Network board has had some really great people join the last number of years. And I really believe that that's to the success of the overall, not only the outdoor events, but the overall organization as a whole. It's really helping artists, especially in this difficult time.
Yeah.
As we shift and pivot to do more stuff online, there's just a few more hands in the pot. The gallery's looking great. So there's like exciting times coming forward for the Artist Network. And I'm happy to be part of it.
Yeah, you've done a great job. So let's talk about your art, because that's why we're here. So talk about a little bit your process, the materials, because it's quite unique. And I don't think a lot of people know about the process. So if you could just tell me a little bit about how you work and when you work and where you start from, like what is your point of inspiration? Where do you start from and how do you get the idea and that kind of thing?
All right. Well, I'd say that my work is really a reflection of my happy place. So my happy places are basically my gardens and being outdoors. So like hikes, and I don't necessarily go far, right? It's pretty much Ontario in the last year or so, as well for most of us. But you know, it's really sort of being in the outdoors and in nature, and that's where I get most of my inspiration from. So I take a lot of pictures, but but a lot of my work is more like people will ask me, "Oh, where was this?" or like this specific flower. I'm like, well, it's kind of like a reference of. It's more of a feeling and a reference of where I was, or maybe what I've been seeing over the last week or so. So it's reflected in my work. And I start with the reason I love encaustic is I think that it's a very tactile medium. I've always been, I think, a maker since I was a kid. As much as I've only really started showing my own work in the last year, I have always dabbled in arts and dabbled in playing with materials and like decor and craft activity and stuff like that. So it's a very tactile medium. Basically it's layers and layers of fused beeswax. That the beeswax you pigment with oil paint, and then you fuse it. So mostly I use a blowtorch. This is my favorite tool. I'll show you here. Can't be at home without it.
Awesome.
So my work, sometimes it's very, like a lot of encaustic artists might do a lot of mixed media and they might have a lot of texture. That's one of the benefits of that medium. You can think of it as like, maybe people understand watercolor a bit more, like you're layering, but with encaustic, you can actually take away as well. And so it's a very warm, luminous medium. You get to see the layers of color below it. So I'll just show you like this little piece here. I don't know if you can see.
Yeah, I see that.
But you can see all like the colors. So this could have like 30 layers on it or 40 layers on it. And it's just like, you know, what are you going to display and what are you not going to have come out? So I think that's why I love the medium. I'm still learning and I'm still playing, but I love it.
How long have you been doing it for?
So probably about 1.5 years I've been doing encaustic.
Oh.
I've more likely done like more like ink drawings and like acrylic and a little bit of watercolor. And that's reflected this way. So I actually still do inking. So I might do a really simple piece with some inking on it. That's Indian ink. So I sometimes do little sketches in Indian ink, and I think that I just take that and I've applied it to the encaustic work. So I'll show you another tool. This is my favorite ink pen.
Yeah.
So I got this in France, and it's glass.
Yeah.
And I love it. So I play with that too. So
do you have an artist that you look towards? Because your work looks a little bit, has inspiration from Group of Seven and that kind of thing. Are there artists that you look at and you go, okay, I'm going to go with that type of coloring, that type of composition?
I think it's more like artists in general inspire me, and definitely the Group of Seven. I mean, I think maybe because people see that because all of my stuff is more Ontario-like my reference points. but definitely the colors. I love their work. Like even Carmichael, Tom Thompson, all those people. Like if you look at the colors and the rich colors that they have in their work, and so I'm probably using some of those same colors, right? Like I think one of my favorite colors is green. It's sort of this. I don't know if I can take my camera over, but it's sort of this. All these like kind of warm, really warm tones and greens and stuff. So I think that's. I don't know if you can see that in the camera, but
yeah, there's a muted type of tone to it, which
yeah.
is really reminiscent of the group of seven for sure. Yeah.
Like I love bright color and I like to put bright color in my work, but I really do like all those natural sort of tones, like the warm, bright colors, I guess would be what I work with. Yeah.
Yeah, there's this warm, inviting feel to it. And I think the encaustic surface and texture really lends itself to that, right? There's this warm, kind of cushy kind of feel to it that it's difficult to see online. The online this is, I think, one of the issues we've got as artists. How do we translate what we do, the surface, the technique, all that kind of thing onto an online platform? So how have you been able to adapt to that? Have you worked with different images? Like how do you work with that as far as transferring onto an online kind of visual for your collectors?
Yeah, so I think I totally agree with you. I think encaustic is one of the difficult ones. Encaustic is difficult for me to photograph anyway. Yeah. Like I know that a lot of people who do resin work on their work, for example, photograph their work before they put the resin coating on it. The problem with encaustic is that it's got this luminous stuff and it's kind of got this sheen. So when I take it outside to just take like quick photos, you have a lot of reflection. And so then if you take that away, it becomes really flat. So it is really hard to display that. So I think what I've just tried to do a little bit, and you'll see this on the Eventually store, is take a few little videos. So like I might move the piece outside or take a little, so I actually have a bunch more. I just have to kind of upload. I've been so busy helping other artists with their profiles that like you don't get your own bill. But I've been taking little videos because it's been so beautiful outdoors. So I've been taking some pieces outside and moving them, and some of the pieces that that people are interested in and I'm selling and I have to drop off, and it's like, okay, I gotta go outside today and take a few little videos just to get sort of that feeling so people can see the work a little bit better. It is definitely difficult to show online.
Yeah, so I think for collectors and people who are looking at your site on an event today, it's really a good idea to check out your Instagram feed and your Facebook feed, and then they can really see. And then if they sign up for your email list as well, then you can really reach out to those people. So I think it should be encouraged for people who see this video that they look a little bit deeper, because if you see the imagery and you love it, then it's really the first step, right? And then because your materials are just so fantastic and the use of materials. And I actually can't believe that you've only been working for, a couple of years on this and been able to master it so well, right? Your simplicity, your coloring, it's fantastic. It just does such a good job. Yeah.
Well, I've always been involved in the arts and I've always played in painting and arts. I used to paint quite a bit when I was, I'd say like 10 years ago. Yeah. So you have a background. It's just a new medium, right?
Yeah.
I was just going to say another thing that people are doing sort of to present their work a little bit is I was talking to a few other people doing interviews as well, as you know, and a lot of people are doing like these outside porch visits. And I will do that, like, because I have a covered porch in the front of my house and at the back of my house. So if people are interested in a piece and want to see something, I'm happy to take some pieces outside and just, socially distance so that you can actually see it in different lights and pick it up and take a look at it. I think that's a good idea that a lot of people are doing. People in Toronto are doing that.
Yeah, for sure. Okay, Angela, thanks very much. It really gives us a little snippet of your work. And this interview is great because it gives a little bit more of an in-depth space of what the work is on the website, on the online store. So much of it's so difficult to work beyond that and give more of a depth. In fact, this almost is even better than an art fair, because at art fairs it's really difficult to even engage into process like this. So thank you very much for doing this interview, and thank you so much for taking care of the show as well as you do, because we all benefit. We all are trying to keep ourselves relevant and in front and out there to help people work through the little bit pandemic nightmare that we're in. So thanks a lot, Angela.
Yeah, thanks for your time too, Marjorie, and all the work you put into the organization. Yeah, it's great to be part of such a great community. I think that there's a lot of givers out there, and I think that this is a wonderful time to be part of it.
Yeah, for sure. All right, we'll see you online.
Yeah, have a good day. Bye.
You too.